Hey guys, Sordan here today, bringing you guys another YouTube video, and I'll be talking about wasted characters. So yeah, the first wasted character is Gine, and she is the mother of Goku, and she is killed off before Goku is even aware of her. I think that she should be revived. She could add a funny aspect of her interacting with characters like Bulma and Chi-Chi. I think that Gine wouldn't be too good for plot. I mean, she could, but that was only for certain circumstances. If we don't take into account the other wasted character, she wouldn't be too good for the plot. But I think she would add a good amount of comedy to the show, and just another female Saiyan who isn't trash. Kill Caulifla. So yeah, if they put Gine back in the show, we can finally have a cool girl Super Saiyan, and to bring her back wouldn't be too hard. All you would have to do is have a character bring Gine back to life, and it'll be that easy. Now, to make this make sense, we'd have to bring back another wasted character, aka Bardock. And Bardock is another Saiyan, which would be cool. Bardock's probably wiser than any other Saiyan that's alive, and it would be amazing to see all the interactions that he would have, because again, there's a new Saiyan and things like that. And also, he can be incorporated into the series easily with Timebreaker Bardock from Xenoverse 2. And also, if you have Bardock, he'll probably want to revive his wife. And that's how Gine could be revived as well. And Bardock could also revive the last wasted character, because Gine would want her son to be revived, and it would be Raditz. Now, Raditz is the last wasted character I'm going to be talking about for a long time. See, Raditz was an amazing character, and he should have... Okay, let me tell you how he could have been incorporated into the story. So, we go back to the scene where Piccolo kills Raditz, but this time, Raditz survives it. And while Raditz is on the floor, almost dead, Launch happens to find him and takes Raditz. While Raditz is out, he falls into a coma. And while he's in a coma, he relives the fight of him versus Goku and Piccolo. But this time, Raditz wins successfully. He kills Goku, Piccolo, and Gohan, thereby eradicating his whole bloodline. At first, Raditz is a little discouraged about this, and for a short second, Raditz thinks it's wrong that he just killed his entire bloodline. But he gets over this and kills everyone on planet Earth, wiping everything out very quickly. He waits, and eventually Vegeta and Nappa come to Earth. Vegeta then asks Raditz, "Did you kill everyone except the Namekian?" Raditz then says, "Sorry, I killed everyone, even the Namekian." Vegeta gets furious at Raditz and says, "You fool, you costed me my immortality." And then before Raditz could react, Vegeta shot an energy beam, and right when it was about to hit Raditz, he wakes up. Raditz, shocked, wakes up and looks around. He sees Launch, the blue-haired version, and Raditz says, "Who are you?" And Launch says, "I'm Launch." Raditz looks at her and says, "How long has it been?" Launch says, "It's been about a month since I got you." Raditz then tries to get up, but a sharp pain shoots through him. Launch then says, "Don't move too fast, you'll hurt yourself." Disgusted that a human is taking pity on him, Raditz tries to move again, but the pain shoots through him harder. Raditz finally decides to give in and just sit down. Launch then gives Raditz some food, and Raditz is happy with this. Raditz thinks to himself, "The moment I'm able to move, I'm going to kill her, and everyone on this planet." He thinks back to his coma dream, and he remembers Vegeta killing him. Raditz thinks to himself, "There's no way I'm going to be able to kill everyone in the world without killing that Namekian." He thinks, "Okay, I have to escape and hide from Vegeta and Nappa." Raditz then asks Launch, "Do you know anyone who can fix a spaceship?" Launch then replies by saying, I do. There's a scientist called Bulma. She's insanely smart. Launch says with a smile. Raditz then said, good. Once I'm healed, you take me there. Launch then asks Raditz, why? Raditz gets mad at this and decides not to answer. So Launch leaves, and about a week later of Launch giving Raditz food and making small talk, Launch goes to him doing her normal schedule. Then when Launch gives Raditz his food, Raditz says, ramen again? Really? Launch then sneezes and turns into her yellow-haired state. Raditz, shocked by this, thinking that Launch just turned into a Super Saiyan, stares at Launch in awe. Launch then says, what are you looking at, you ungrateful piece of garbage? Raditz, still shocked, is just sitting there with his mouth open. Launch then says, what's the matter, cat got your tongue? Raditz, still in awe, just watches Launch leave without saying a word. About a week later, Raditz is able to move again. Finally, Raditz then leaves Launch's house. He flies around. He starts to fly for about an hour, and while he is flying, he sees Piccolo training. Raditz goes to Piccolo and says, long time no see. Piccolo, shocked, says, I killed you, you shouldn't be here. Raditz then says to Piccolo, someone as weak as you could never kill me. Piccolo then asks, what are you doing here? Are you here to kill me? Raditz then says, no, I'm not here to kill you. I'm just here to warn you that you could train for 1,000,000 years, and you will still not be on Nappa and Vegeta's level. Piccolo then says, I can't just run away. Raditz thinks to himself, how can someone so weak be more brave than him? Raditz, disgusted by this, he shoots an energy blast at Piccolo. Piccolo can't dodge it, and Piccolo goes flying from the attack. Raditz then leaves and returns back to Launch's house. In the morning, Launch comes out and sees Raditz. And Launch says, finally, you got your lazy butt up. And Raditz then says, take me to the scientist, Launch. And then says, oh, I almost forgot about that. Launch then hops into her car and says to Raditz, aren't you coming? Raditz then said, I thought you were going to fly. Launch then said, I can't fly. Raditz then said in confusion, but you're a Super Saiyan. Launch then said, super what? Raditz says, oh never mind, and then Raditz gets into the car and complains while they're driving. Launch angrily says, keep talking and I'll turn you into Swiss cheese. Raditz thinks to himself, so she is a fighter, she just doesn't know that she's a Saiyan. So Raditz says to Launch that she's a Saiyan, and after Raditz tells Launch everything that happened to their home world, yada yada yada, Launch then stares at Raditz, and Raditz stares back, waiting for Launch's response. Then, Launch bursts out laughing. She then starts to cough uncontrollably, alternating between her yellow and blue state. She finally stops laughing and coughing, and she ends up in her blue-haired form. And Launch says, sorry to Raditz. Sorry for laughing at you, but I'm not an alien. My personalities just switch when I sneeze. My blonde form is my mean side, and my blue-haired self, the one I'm in now, is my nice side. Raditz then says to Launch, that's strange. See, there's a form Saiyans have, it's called Super Saiyan, and when a Saiyan goes Super Saiyan, they become angry, similar to your blonde state. Launch then says, wow, what a coincidence. A few hours later, Launch and Raditz finally make it to Bulma's house at the dead of night. Launch knocks on the door, and Bulma opens the door, rubbing her eyes. And then, Bulma sees Raditz, and Bulma starts to freak out. Watch out, Launch! Raditz is behind you! Bulma said. Launch, confused, says, yeah, I know. Bulma, still freaking out, says, Raditz killed Goku. Launch then said, what? Raditz stays quiet, and Launch then sneezes, turning into her yellow-haired form. Launch then looks at Raditz and looks back at Bulma, and then Launch pulls out an assault rifle. Bulma looks in confusion as Launch points the gun at Bulma, and she says, "Look here, little Miss Pretty, unless you want me to dye your whole body in red, you're going to fix Raditz ship in the morning. Do I make myself clear?" Launch says while gripping the gun tighter. Bulma then shakes her head in compliance. Then Launch turns around and puts the gun on Raditz's chest, and Launch says, "And for you." Raditz is about to say something, and then Launch says, "I've been wanting to kill Goku for the longest time." Raditz breathes a sigh of relief, and that morning Bulma starts working on fixing the spaceship. Launch then says, "Want to go have some fun?" Launch and Raditz go to a bar, and Launch says, "Let's drink." Raditz then says, "What is this?" Launch says to Raditz, "It's beer, it's really good." Raditz looks at it, hesitating to drink, but he does. Raditz drinks it, and he stays quiet for a moment. But then he says, "This stuff is good!" He slams his fist on the table, shattering it to pieces. Raditz then says, "Give me another one." Launch smiles and says, "That's the spirit." They drink and drink and drink until they become drunken idiots. Raditz, stumbling on his words, says, Thank you." Launch, chugging another beer, says, "Ah man, don't get all it was just one." Launch takes another sip and continues, It was just a few." Raditz, setting down his beer, says, No, not just thanks for all the. Launch then puts her finger over Raditz's mouth and says, "Hush, hush." Enjoy the moment. And with that, they both get knocked out. Hours later, Raditz wakes up and sees Launch resting her head on his chest. Launch wakes up and says to Raditz, "Good morning." Raditz blushes at this and quickly gets up. Everything that happened that previous night all rushes back to him. Raditz thinks to himself, "What happened to me? I was speared through multiple words and now I was reduced to some idiot?" Raditz then pauses and thinks about what he said to Launch. He blushes again and then heads to a tree that's not too far away. He sits behind it and thinks. Raditz says to himself, "It's because of her I've become weak. I have to kill her so I can regain my strength. She's making me weaker." Raditz then stands up and turns to Launch, and then Raditz blasts out Launch at full speed, heading straight for Launch. Launch then sneezes and she turns into her blue-haired form. And right when Raditz is about to kill Launch, he stops right in front of her. "Everything alright?" Launch says with a warm smile on her face. Raditz then blushes again and flies back, thinking, why can't he kill her? Raditz starts pounding on the ground in anger, screaming, Why? I'm a Saiyan, I shouldn't be... He stops himself, thinking about what he was about to say. He looks up and sees Launch looking at him in confusion. Raditz says to himself, is it because she always treated me good? Is it because she was never afraid of me? Is it because she was beautiful? Raditz just shakes his head, no, it can't be. Raditz then blasts off, and Launch, seeing Raditz leaving, Launch shouts, Raditz, come back! But Raditz doesn't listen. She tries to catch up to him, but she can't. Raditz is just way too fast. Launch, worried about Raditz, starts to head to Bulma. And, that was a lot longer than I expected, and I'm not even done yet. So, I'm going to be making a part 2 to this. And, yes, I was talking a little faster than I usually do, just so this video doesn't turn into 30 minutes. So, yeah, I hope you enjoyed this video, and the next one will hopefully come soon. But it always comes that time of day when I have to say, please don't demonetize me or put this video age restricted because I said beer a few times. But it always comes that time of day when I have to say, bye!